The very fact that you are listening to these words at this precise moment carries a significance far greater than coincidence. Because the hidden architecture of the universe has already synchronized your frequency with this transmission. If you find yourself standing before doors in your life that appear immovable, unreachable, or impossible, understand that your quantum mind is no longer merely knocking upon them. It is preparing to step forward as the conscious observer whose presence alone has the power to transform their structure at its core. Lean back for a moment and sense it. Feel how your reality is subtly beginning to curve, to soften, to respond. Our convergence here within this digital field is not random interaction. It is tangible proof that your inner navigation system has been steering you toward your highest timeline all along. Your spiritual compass is no longer spinning in confusion. It is pointing steadily north toward the truth of who you have always been. Within the quantum field, there are no accidental meetings, no meaningless glances, no stray sound waves drifting without purpose. Every exchange is the physical echo of a silent intention that has been resonating in the deepest chambers of your soul for far longer than you realize. Selected from the infinite universal archive and lowered gently into your lived experience, this moment is the materialization of something ancient within you calling itself forward. Perhaps recently you have felt pressure mounting, old patterns tightening around your spirit like garments that no longer fit. Foundations you once trusted shifting beneath your feet, creating instability where certainty once lived. But what feels like collapse is not destruction. It is sacred recalibration. It is atomic reordering at the most fundamental level, required for your consciousness to attune itself to a vastly wider, far more elevated dimension of energy. You are no longer a passive fragment carried helplessly by the winds of circumstance, surviving at the edge of events. You are a master architect standing within the ocean of infinite probabilities, directing its currents with deliberate awareness. Through your observer effect, you influence subatomic particles themselves, and through your gaze, you participate in the shaping of the universe. What you once perceived as emptiness within your mind, the quantum void, is in truth a fertile expanse holding the dormant seeds of everything you ever labeled impossible. And by harmonizing yourself with this frequency, you are breathing life into those seeds. This awakening is not incremental growth. It is a quantum leap beyond linear time, beyond the heavy chains of yesterday and the anxious projections of tomorrow. It unfolds in the vertical infinity of the present moment. As you alter the energetic signature of your own being, you will witness with astonishment how the physical world begins to reorganize itself to match your new melody. Events once dismissed as coincidence will arrive like intentional messengers. Opportunities will knock in rhythms too precise to ignore. You are both composer and conductor within this cosmic symphony. The internal navigation system embedded in your awareness has already mapped a trajectory that leads to possibilities beyond your boldest imagination. At this elevated state of consciousness, fear dissolves into expansive trust, and confusion reorganizes itself into sacred geometry. The quantum mind interfaces directly with the divine mathematics underlying existence, a system that appears complex but operates with flawless precision. Allow this deep awareness to saturate every layer of your being. With each exhale, release the dusty cycles of outdated realities. With every inhale, draw into yourself the luminous energy of boundless potential. You are here because your frequency has refined itself enough to recognize this message, and your mind has expanded sufficiently to transmute impossibility into tangible creation. Your reality will no longer replay like a scratched record looping the same refrain. You have consciously lifted the needle with your own hands. Now you begin composing an entirely new symphony aligned with your highest timeline. This awakening is not a privilege granted from outside. It is your birthright and your inherent power. Cosmic synchronization has reached completion. The threshold stands open before you, and you are fully prepared to step through. As the once dormant giant within you, your quantum consciousness, begins to pulse in rhythm with the heart of the universe, you will experience directly how nothing can obstruct its movement. Time softens, space bends. This is more than a beginning, it is a return, homecoming to your original potential. As every cell in your body becomes infused with this elevated current, Sense outdated beliefs dissolving. Feel inadequacy evaporate. Watch limiting definitions disintegrate under the intensity of this high-voltage awareness. You are a living miracle. And in recognizing yourself as such, you declare that miracle across the quantum field. Subatomic particles recalibrate to align with your renewed determination. Your life begins reconstructing itself into a structure more magnificent than your most daring dreams once allowed you to envision. The unwavering certainty born from this awakening dissolves. One by one, the invisible contracts you unknowingly formed with limitation at the subatomic level. In their place emerges the divine inheritance buried deep within your soul, your creative authority. You are no longer a reactive victim responding unconsciously to external events. You are a deliberate cultivator planting seeds within the universal field with every thought, every focus, every intention. The clarified frequency emanating from your mind reorganizes chaos into harmonious geometry. You discover an extraordinary lightness in realizing that what you once called impossible was simply a possibility you had ceased to observe. The profound revelation of quantum mechanics, once confined within sterile laboratories, now seeps into the intimate texture of your daily existence. A particle acquires defined position and identity only when observed. This principle is not abstract science. It is the key that places your destiny within your own hands. Your life is not merely a sequence of external circumstances. It is a vast projection screen, constructed moment by moment through the sacred act of observation. Whatever you choose to look at, however you choose to perceive it, from whatever depth of frequency you hold, you collapse the infinite wave of potential into concrete experience. This power operates continuously, whether you acknowledge it or not. Every beam of attention radiating from the hidden recesses of your mind behaves like an invisible sculptor, shaping the raw substance of existence according to your internal blueprints of belief. Most people unaware of this authority repeatedly observe their fears, their limitations, and their outdated narratives. They pull them from memory's dusty shelves and replay them like a broken record trapped in a sorrowful melody. In doing so, they recreate cycles of similar disappointments and familiar blockages, mistaking repetition for inevitability. But as these words reach you and elevate your awareness, you stand prepared to remove that rusted needle intentionally. You are ready to become the meta-observer of your own experience. And when this shift occurs, those imposing doors that once seemed sealed will swing open as though they were never locked at all. By altering your perspective, your observer frequency, you alter reality itself. Within the quantum field, everything both exists and does not exist simultaneously. Your focused attention determines which potential crystallizes into form. If you continuously observe lack, illness, or impossibility, the field mirrors back more of the same with precise neutrality. Yet when you combine the observer effect with conscious, aligned intention, the chaotic dance of subatomic particles reorganizes itself in harmony with your desires. From the vantage point of pure awareness, you rediscover a childlike wonder. You perceive how fluid, how adaptable, how responsive the material world truly is. It is not a rigid prison. It is an interactive playground. In this transformation, your mind transcends simple thought. It evolves beyond habitual cognition and begins operating as a generator of frequency, broadcasting, shaping, and sculpting reality from the inside outward. Every wave you transmit into existence travels across the vast universal ocean and inevitably finds its matching resonance before returning to you amplified. Reality is not constructed by forcefully attempting to rearrange the outer world. It is shaped by polishing the inner lens of the observer and deliberately turning it toward the brilliance of the highest possibilities. You are far more than a passive witness in this unfolding drama. You are the cinematographer controlling the light, the director guiding the scenes, and the central character embodying the storyline within this immense cosmic cinema. With your gaze, you bring atoms into alignment. With your intention, you animate dormant possibilities. When you consciously choose to remain attuned to this elevated frequency, you anchor these profound quantum truths into the cellular memory of your being and step into the advancing edge of humanity's expanding awareness. Your awakening is not isolated or insignificant. It is an essential gear within the vast transforming mechanism of collective human consciousness. When you observe with clarity, the world reorganizes itself. When you deepen your awareness, the horizon of possibilities stretches infinitely. When you genuinely believe, the quantum field responds by transforming what once seemed impossible into lived experience. Draw back the dull gray curtains of outdated perception and begin constructing a radiant, boundless reality through the magnificence of your own observational authority within the limitless laboratory of your mind. Listen carefully to that calm yet sovereign inner voice that consistently selects the most aligned and auspicious timeline for you. That voice is your authentic self, the true observer beyond fear and confusion. Feel how your body vibrates in harmony with this recognition, how each cell silently affirms the truth of who you are becoming. Sense the atoms surrounding you subtly reorganizing, eager to cooperate with your conscious command. Reality is no longer distant or unpredictable. It responds to you because you now recognize the power within your gaze. This monumental process of reconstruction began the instant awareness dawned within you, and it will continue to expand without limit. Under the unwavering governance of the observer effect, your intention ceases to be a fragile wish drifting in uncertainty. It becomes a precise directive transmitted into the quantum field. That directive travels instantly through the universal energy network, orchestrating scenarios and synchronizing events that gradually crystallize into physical form. You discover that obstacles once perceived as towering mountains were in fact shadows cast by hesitation in your own perspective. In recognizing this, you encounter your authentic creative authority for the first time. Every focused intention recalibrates atoms to mirror the sacred geometry of your inner desires echoing in the silent expanse of consciousness. You are no longer defenseless before life's fluctuations. You are a commanding force, imprinting each second with a distinct energetic signature. Time itself is a persuasive illusion, a narrative constructed by the senses, convincing the mind that existence flows rigidly from past to future. Yet to the quantum mind, time is not a horizontal progression. It is a multi-layered spectrum of overlapping frequencies and probability waves coexisting simultaneously within the vertical infinity of now. That extraordinary achievement, that profound healing, that transformative love you long for is not suspended in some distant tomorrow. It already exists within the quantum dimension, vibrating patiently, awaiting resonance with your frequency. As long as you frame these desires as events that will someday occur, you confine them to an unreachable mental horizon. You remain entangled in the slow machinery of linear expectation. But before any dramatic shift manifests outwardly, you must stabilize yourself inwardly within the serene certainty that the transformation has already happened. The quantum field does not measure distance or delay. It recognizes only vibrational alignment. When you embody the frequency signature of your desired reality in this very moment, the rigid walls of time begin to dissolve. This is not blind optimism or superficial belief. It is a state of being encoded at the subatomic level. Just as a master conductor hears the entire symphony internally before the orchestra plays a single note, you must internalize the feeling of fulfillment before evidence appears. The emotional certainty precedes the material manifestation. While many attempt to ascend life like a ladder, step after exhausting step, the quantum mind offers a radically different approach. It allows you to transcend the ladder entirely and arrive directly at the highest floor, the timeline you consciously select. This leap may appear to defy conventional logic, yet it is the most refined expression of universal mathematics. When you anchor your awareness fully in the present, and withdraw energy from regrets of the past and anxieties about the future, you activate the immense potential hidden within the microscopic spaces between atoms. That energy releases you from the illusion of linear confinement and transports you into the quantum void where limitation loses authority. Your soul has never been bound by time. It has always existed within the eternal radiance of infinite light. Concepts such as delay, aging, or missed opportunities are remnants of outdated mental programming. The quantum leap is the sacred instant when you redefine your identity, incinerating the narrow self-image you once clung to and rising anew as your timeless, spaceless essence. In that awakening, problems that persisted for years dissolve within seconds. Aspirations you once chased tirelessly draw near as effortlessly as breath. You cease to be a traveler drifting through time and instead become the conscious force that shapes and bends time itself. Feel now the brilliance of your highest timeline radiating within your heart. Extend your awareness to the version of yourself already living there and merge with that frequency. Notice how instantly your biology responds, how your thoughts reorganize, how your entire internal landscape transforms. When you step beyond the confined corridor of time and immerse yourself in the expansive ocean of quantum reality, you realize that the word impossible is merely a myth sustained by shallow perception. You are not constrained by duration or distance. You are timeless and immeasurable. At this very moment, as these words reach you, you stand at the epicenter of a powerful energetic expansion preparing to initiate the greatest leap of your life. This illumination arises from within you, dissolving darkness, neutralizing delay, dismantling obstacles, and guiding you toward the magnificent future that has always been an extension of your true self. Each movement you make within this timeless expanse redefines your imprint within universal memory. As the limiting walls of linear time crumble in your perception, infinite possibilities gather around your intention like a luminous halo. Waiting becomes unnecessary because waiting is the vibration of lack. You are no longer emitting lack. You are resonating from within the fulfilled state itself, from the center of success, from the core of peace. A quantum leap is not merely a shift in circumstance. It is a metamorphosis of the identity you call I at the most fundamental energetic level. It is the transformation of your being into an entirely new spectrum of light frequency, so profound, so complete, that reality has no choice but to mirror the change. Such a transformation has occurred within you that there now exists an entire universe of difference between who you were a single second ago and who you are in this present breath. The moment you attune yourself to the highest timeline of your existence, the shadows of your past begin dissolving as though they were never solid to begin with. Meanwhile, the radiance of your future pours into every cell of your being, lifting you beyond limitation and carrying you directly into the embrace of infinite creative intelligence. Every thought you generate, every profound emotion you experience, and every atom composing your body carries a distinct and irreplaceable frequency signature. That signature is continuously transmitted into the boundless silence of the universe as a living stream of cosmic data. It informs the quantum field, moment by moment, who you identify yourself to be, what you believe you are worthy of receiving, and which layer of reality you have chosen to inhabit. Within this immense universal archive, the law of resonance operates with flawless neutrality. It gathers events, encounters, relationships, and opportunities, some of which once appeared impossible, and orchestrates them into your experience according to the harmony of your broadcast. Just as a magnet inevitably draws iron filings toward itself, if your inner transmission unconsciously vibrates with lack, fear, or inadequacy, the perfectly impartial mechanism of the universe can only respond with scenarios that mirror that frequency. The quantum field does not respond to your wishes alone. It echoes your state of being. It reflects back not what you desire superficially, but what you are energetically declaring yourself to be. However, when you consciously recalibrate your quantum mind, when you program that inner divine generator to emit the frequency of abundance, love, certainty, and miracles, you initiate resonance at the subatomic scale. In response, the physical world begins reorganizing itself to match this elevated symphony. This is not fantasy or hopeful thinking. It is the purest expression of universal physics. It is as certain as hearing a new melody when you shift the dial of a radio, as natural as recognizing your own reflection when you stand before a mirror. When your frequency rises, you begin to see that doors once perceived as locked were never solid barriers at all. They were perceptual illusions sustained by lower vibrational observation. The obstacles that appeared immovable reveal themselves as distortions generated by outdated perspectives. When the quantum mind steadies its focus upon the luminous light of your highest potential, that brilliance projects across the entirety of your life. Hidden possibilities emerge from shadow into visibility. Pathways that once seemed non-existent become clear and undeniable. To anchor this immense current of energy into tangible experience, to seal your intention firmly within the physical plane, and to align yourself completely with this cosmic flow. Declare your alignment boldly. I am aligned with my highest timeline and attracting miracles to myself. This declaration is not a mere affirmation. It is a conscious activation. It signals that you are not simply witnessing the mechanics of reality, you are operating them deliberately. As you awaken to the sacred resonance vibrating within your own being, you observe with awe how external circumstances gradually yield to your internal state. The impossible transforms, step by step, into what feels natural and inevitable. Remember this deeply. You are the essential note within this cosmic orchestra. When you claim your tone and allow it to ring clearly, the universe harmonizes in response. Your frequency shapes your destiny. And now, in this awakened awareness, you are rewriting that destiny in its most luminous, noble, and miraculous form. The quantum core within you has reached a level of resonant intensity powerful enough to transmute impossibility into certainty. With every breath, inhale this elevated vibration. With every thought, radiate its light outward. Await the universe's reply not with impatience, but with love, trust, and open receptivity. You are no longer confined to the static of an old, crackling broadcast. You now exist in full harmony with the highest and purest frequency available within existence. And this harmony has irreversibly altered the trajectory of your life. This unwavering resonance is a profound awakening of an ancient code embedded not only within your mind, but within your bones and the deepest layers of your soul. As you continue radiating this frequency, probability particles across the quantum field begin cooperating in vast orchestration, aligning themselves with your intention and arranging the most beneficial scenarios into your physical experience. You need not be deceived by the apparent rigidity of external structures or the intimidating presence of obstacles. Within this new resonance, you hold a sacred alchemical authority capable of transforming even molecular resistance into stepping stones. The high-voltage brilliance emanating from your consciousness does not merely illuminate your personal path. It uplifts every person, object, and event that intersects with your field. Around you forms a protective architecture woven from miracles, within which fear, inadequacy, and outdated dramas cannot anchor themselves. You have become the blessed observer moving in rhythm with the universe's infinite ocean of creation. With every step, you ground miracles into the earth. When you recognize the colossal generator within and activate it through unwavering conviction, declaring inwardly that it is done, you feel in the depths of your core how time and space soften before your certainty. The impossible reveals itself as an illusion sustained by an obsolete identity. That former self, secure yet confining, served as a sheltered harbor, but it also functioned as a rusted chain restricting your voyage. Now your quantum consciousness gathers unprecedented momentum, lifting you beyond that harbor and propelling you into boundless oceans of potential. During this awakening, you may feel instability. Familiar structures may tremble, branches once clung to may snap. The world may appear to quake beneath you, but this is not collapse, it is sacred reconstruction. The decaying foundations of outdated perception are being dismantled, so that a far greater reality may be established upon stronger ground. Old subconscious codes whispering, "I can't," "I don't deserve this," "This is impossible," or "I am not enough," cannot survive beneath the intense luminosity of your awakened quantum mind. They dissolve like frost under sunlight. When you interpret this upheaval not as chaos, but as liberation, you realize that the dramatic narratives of your former life were only shadows cast by limited awareness. You are no longer a background character tossed by circumstance. You are the empowered protagonist capable of rewriting the script with every breath, every perception, every conscious act of observation. As you recognize the infinite energy residing in your innermost being, you perceive clearly that many of the towering obstacles in your outer world were projections sustained by outdated belief systems. Shift the belief, and the structure dissolves like dust. Your former identity resembled a record endlessly replaying a mournful melody, nourished by regret and anticipation. Your awakened self, however, is a living cosmic orchestra nourished by the silent vastness of the quantum field, renewing itself continuously, vibrant, expansive, and forever aligned with the limitless creative source from which all realities are born. Always receptive to miracles, always open to the unexpected brilliance of existence. Embracing this new identity may feel intense, even painful at moments, yet it is equally renewing and liberating. It is like a serpent shedding an old layer of skin that once protected it, but has now become too tight to contain its growth. And when that old layer falls away, you will stand in awe of how the creative currents of the universe respond instantly to your presence, how time softens, and how space itself seems to honor your newly claimed authority. When the quantum mind prepares to attract what once appeared impossible, it is not acquiring something foreign. It is reawakening the divine creative force that has always existed within you, buried beneath accumulated layers of fear and doubt. Once this awakening ignites, there is no regression. You cannot compress yourself back into an outdated identity. The old self becomes too small, too narrow, too dim to house your expanded awareness. Surrender to this transformation. Yield to the mysterious yet miraculous embrace of the unknown. For genuine miracles reside precisely at the threshold where your comfort zone dissolves and the infinite field of possibility begins. You are, at your core, a being of light, and from this renewed identity, you are only one clear intention away from the highest timeline you once hesitated to imagine. As the faint whispers of former insecurities fade, and the confident voice of quantum consciousness rises within you, you assume full authorship of your life. External approval or rejection no longer destabilizes your frequency. Your validation flows directly from your inner authority and from the universe itself. This awakening is not a gift granted by chance. It is your inherent right, and you are now consciously exercising it. Old entanglements, repetitive cycles, and inherited patterns are unraveling strand by strand. As liberated awareness, you are igniting your own radiant sun at the dawn of an entirely new reality. What once seemed impossible no longer blocks your path. It becomes a refinement tool, sharpening your newfound strength. As every cell in your body confirms this truth, immerse yourself in the serene certainty of recognizing your own magnificence. This spiritual metamorphosis transcends mental affirmation. It is the illumination of dormant quantum codes embedded within your very DNA. When you fully inhabit this renewed self, you will observe with astonishment how people, circumstances, and even material objects recalibrate themselves to harmonize with your elevated vibration, assuming new roles that support your expansion. Now that you have ceased battling the echoes of the past and have ascended to the sovereign seat of the present moment, you comprehend that everything once labeled impossible was merely a projection of former fears. You smile gently at those dissolving illusions. With this courageous internal shift, your quantum mind stands ready to unveil the hidden treasures of existence. You are no longer a limited human, navigating a restrictive reality. You are the luminous source of consciousness itself, experiencing infinity and recreating your world continuously through higher awareness. The simple fact that you have journeyed through these words to this point is confirmation that your awareness has crossed a significant threshold. The quantum field is already mobilizing in response to your intentions. What society names impossible is simply potential awaiting recognition. Today, you chose that potential. You believed in it wholeheartedly. Now the moment has arrived to embody that choice. Close your eyes briefly and sense the fragrance of your new reality. Feel its texture, its vitality, the joy it stirs within you. Remember, you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe expressing itself consciously, and the universe does not err. Trust the authority within you and surrender to this magnificent current. Miracles are already weaving themselves through your life. The pure energy within your consciousness continues shaping your outer world in every instant. You cannot revert to former limiting beliefs because your awareness has expanded beyond those narrow frameworks. They no longer contain you. Greet each morning with exhilaration. View every opportunity as a synchronized gift aligned with your frequency. You are no longer merely witnessing reality, you are actively generating it. Your mind functions like a lantern piercing darkness, illuminating the path that is authentically yours. Obstacles now reveal themselves as stepping stones arranged deliberately for your ascent. This realization infuses you with deep inner calm and unshakable confidence. Even the atoms surrounding you seem to acknowledge your determination. Time stretches and reshapes in response to your will. You are both radiant star and fearless traveler within this vast cosmic unfolding. The image you once labeled as your future is being painted in real time by your thoughts and emotions. Each thought supplies color, each breath animates the canvas. Never hesitate to expand beyond previous boundaries. The quantum field has no edges, and your intention is the access point to its infinity. As your life evolves into living art, savor its elegance. Clarity replaces confusion, possibility replaces doubt. The sacred light within you continues shining without exhaustion. This journey is the noblest return to your authentic identity. Embrace your brilliance and step confidently onto the grand stage the universe extends before you. You are present, you are prepared, you are powerful. Let your illumination ripple outward and allow each step to reveal a new miracle. You are among the most precious expressions of existence. May your light continue to shine without limitation. This expanded consciousness is not merely philosophical. It initiates measurable transformation within your body. Your chemistry shifts. Your nervous system recalibrates, gradually accepting miracles as natural occurrences rather than rare exceptions. The quantum fabric of reality stands ready to echo every intention you release. You are no longer a separate fragment observing the universe from afar. You are a conscious, self-aware aspect of it. Every event unfolding in your life now mirrors the alignment cultivated within your inner world. Knowing this truth stabilizes your center. External turbulence cannot uproot you. With each breath, you sense more deeply the boundless potential inherent in your being. Uncertainty, once intimidating, transforms into an open playground of exploration. Let each moment become a celebration. Let every inhalation be gratitude. You are an awakened node within an extraordinary cosmic network. Your awakening reverberates like a triumphant anthem across existence. If this frequency resonates within you, continue aligning with this expanding wave of consciousness. Together, we participate in constructing a reality where the impossible steadily dissolves into inevitability. If these words are reaching your awareness now, your quantum mind has already stepped into a new dimension of possibility. To anchor this shift, affirm within yourself, I am ready for miracles now. Activate your observer effect consciously. Release your intention confidently into the universal field, and trust deeply and completely that what you have initiated is already unfolding.